All right, let's dive into Week 9 of the Shore Caucus United Football League. And wow, this was not just another week on the calendar, this was a pressure cooker. This was the week where everything split wide open, where some teams went absolutely cracked out, and others, well, they just cracked under the pressure.
I mean, this quote right here says it all, doesn't it? That's exactly what Week 9 was. It was the great separator. This is the week that really forged the true contenders and, brutally exposed the pretenders. The playoff picture is getting a whole lot clearer, and for some teams, the writing is definitely on the wall. So let's kick things off with the teams that absolutely came to play. These are the squads that delivered those truly cracked performances. And we're going to start with the highest scoring team of the entire week. Okay, just look at this score. Jenks, Vodka, and OJ didn't just get a win, they put on an absolute clinic, dropping over 154 points. And to be fair, Team Naj put up 123. That's a good score most weeks. But they just had the terrible luck of running into an absolute buzzsaw. Jenks completely torched them. And if you're wondering how they did it, well, this is how. It all came down to one single performance. Caleb Williams didn't just have a good game, he had a nearly 48-point eruption. A score like that from one player doesn't just help you win, it single-handedly demolishes your opponent. All right, let's move on to another dominant win, but this one had a little extra spice to it. It was a rematch of last year's championship, and Lick D's Salty Balls wanted to make it crystal clear that nothing has changed. They delivered another huge statement victory over the Bayshore Buzzards. And this chart just shows you how insane their performance was. Just two players, Drake London and Brock Bowers, combined for almost 78 points. Think about that. Their two-man show was almost enough to beat the Buzzards' entire roster all by themselves. That is just pure, unadulterated dominance. But okay, not every game was a blowout. Let's flip the script and talk about the other side of cracked. We're talking about the teams that are actually cracking under all this pressure. These were the nail-biters, the games that were decided by one single agonizing decision. And this game is the perfect example. The Wildwood Warthogs just squeaked by Go-to-Bed by only 7 points. When a game is this close, you look back at every single call you made, and for Go-to-Bed, one of those calls turned out to be absolutely fatal.
Ooh, yeah, this is the one that's going to sting for a while. Benching Jackson Dart and Zach Ertz, that was it. That was the ball game. It's the kind of lineup mistake that will absolutely haunt you, especially in what's already turning into a super disappointing season for that team.
And speaking of these close wins, the league's top dog, the AI Fantasy Bot, just keeps on finding ways to win. They notched their third straight victory in another tight one. Seriously, at 7-2, this team feels less like a fantasy team and more like some kind of untouchable machine. Now, if you really want to know what it means to be cracking in the SUFL, look no further. The Neptune Crack Killers are in a complete and total freefall. This isn't just a losing streak, folks. This is a team hitting absolute rock bottom.
And this slide just visualizes the pain. Their Week 9 loss to Team Used to Be has made it five straight losses. They are in a full-blown spiral, a total nosedive, and honestly, it is getting hard to see how they pull out of it.
Okay, so after all that chaos, the blowouts, the blunders, the total collapses, a new power structure in the league has emerged, and it is crystal clear who's who. And this table right here tells the whole story. You can see the tiers, right? At the very top, your two playoff locks, AI Fantasy Bot and Team Used to Be's. Right below them, you've got this really dangerous pack of 5 and 4 teams. Those are your dark horses, the ones who could make a real run. Then you get to the teams just fighting for their lives, the Buzzards and Naj, scrapping for a wild card spot. And then, at the bottom, 3 teams whose playoff hopes are officially on life support.
And all of that sets the stage perfectly for Week 10. For those teams at the bottom, it's literally do or die. For the teams at the top, it's about cementing their place. The pressure is on, and it is about to explode.
And just look at these matchups. You've got a basement brawl where the loser's season is pretty much over. You've got a heavyweight clash between Salty Balls and Used to Be's. That could be a playoff preview right there. You've got an upset alert with the top-ranked AI bot taking on a desperate Team Nash. And of course, the big one. Can the Krakenlaws finally stop their skid against a red-hot Jenks team? Every single one of these games has massive implications. So, as we head into another huge week, the question is pretty simple. Is this the week that crowns our true contenders, or is it the week that condemns the pretenders for good? It makes you wonder, who's really got the edge?